Imagine pulling a simple quarter from your pocket, a coin you've spent without thinking 1,000 times before. 25 cents. Ordinary. Forgettable. But what if I told you that some people believe a 2002 Liberty quarter dollar could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars? Online listings scream rare, auction titles promise hidden treasure, and myths swirl around this modern coin like it's a forgotten relic of America's past. Today, we are cutting through the hype, uncovering the truth, and exploring the real history, myths, and auction value of the so-called 2002 Liberty quarter dollar. First, let's clear up the biggest misunderstanding right away. There is no official US coin called the Liberty quarter dollar. 2002. What people are actually talking about are the 2002 US state quarters, part of the historic 50 state quarters program launched by the United States Mint in 1999. Every one of these quarters carries the word Liberty boldly inscribed on the front, above the familiar portrait of George Washington. That single word is where much of the confusion and many of the myths begin. By the late 1990s, the US Mint was facing a problem. Coin collecting, once a popular hobby passed down through generations, was slowly fading from public interest. Congress approved a bold idea: redesign the reverse of the quarter to honor each US state in the order they joined the Union. What followed became one of the most successful numismatic programs in history. Between 1999 and 2008, Americans didn't just spend quarters, they searched for them, saved them, and talked about them. Children filled albums. Adults checked their change. Coin collecting came roaring back to life. In 2002, the program entered its third year, and 5 states were honored: Tennessee, Ohio, Louisiana, Indiana, and Mississippi. Each design told a story. Tennessee celebrated its musical heritage with instruments symbolizing country, blues, and rock and roll. Ohio proudly displayed the Wright Flyer and an astronaut, honoring its role in aviation and space exploration. Louisiana featured a pelican, a trumpet, and the outline of the Louisiana Purchase, capturing culture, history, and national expansion in a single image. Indiana showcased a race car racing toward the future, paying tribute to the legendary Indianapolis 500. Mississippi closed the year with graceful magnolia blossoms, symbolizing hospitality and natural beauty. On the front of every one of these coins remained the same familiar design: George Washington, facing left, with liberty above his head. In God we trust to the side, and the date 2002 below. This obverse design had been used on US quarters since 1932, but for many people encountering these coins for the first time through the state quarters program, that bold word, Liberty, stood out. Over time, sellers began using the term Liberty quarter in online listings. It sounded powerful, historic, valuable, and slowly, myths began to grow. One myth claims that every 2002 Liberty quarter is rare. This simply isn't true. Hundreds of millions of 2002 quarters were struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. They were designed to circulate, to be spent, to move through the economy. Most of them did exactly that. If you find a worn 2002 quarter in your change today, it is almost always worth exactly 25 cents. Another popular myth says the coin is valuable because it says Liberty. But here's the truth. Every US quarter says Liberty. The word has appeared on American coinage for centuries as a symbol of freedom and national identity. Its presence alone does not make a coin rare, special, or valuable. Then there's the myth that the US Mint secretly issued a special Liberty quarter dollar in 2002. This is completely false. The official name is State Quarter, and there was no hidden release, no limited batch, and no secret version meant only for collectors. So why do some 2002 quarters actually sell for real money at auctions? The answer lies in 3 words: condition, composition, and errors. Let's start with condition. Coin collectors grade coins on a scale that measures wear, surface marks, and overall preservation. A heavily circulated quarter that's been in pockets, cash registers, and vending machines for years has lost detail and luster. But an uncirculated 2002 quarter, especially one that was never released into circulation, can be worth more, sometimes several dollars, sometimes more if it reaches exceptionally high grades certified by professional grading services. Next is composition. In 2002, the San Francisco Mint produced proof quarters specifically for collectors. Some of these proofs were struck in standard copper-nickel clad, but others were made in 90% silver, just like classic US coinage. These silver proof quarters were never meant for circulation, and their value comes from both their precious metal content and collector demand. Even today, a well-preserved 2002 silver proof quarter can sell for significantly more than face value. But where things get truly exciting, and where auction headlines are born, is in mint errors. Despite modern technology, mistakes still happen at the US Mint. Sometimes a die is misaligned. Sometimes debris gets trapped between the die and the blank coin. Sometimes a coin is struck twice, or off-center, or with part of the design missing. These errors are rare, unpredictable, and highly sought after by collectors. Certain 2002 quarters with genuine mint errors have sold for hundreds and even over $1,000 at auction. Doubled die errors, where letters or numbers appear doubled, are especially popular. Cut errors, where part of the coin's edge bulges due to a damaged die, can command impressive prices. Struck-through errors, where foreign material leaves an imprint on the coin, are also highly collectible. These are not ordinary coins. They are exceptions, survivors of rare mistakes that slipped past quality control. And they are the reason stories of valuable 2002 quarters continue to circulate. Still, it's important to understand something crucial. Auction prices reflect rarity, condition, and demand, not myths. A normal 2002 quarter listed online for $5,000 doesn't mean it's worth $5,000. It only becomes worth that amount if someone actually pays it. Real auction results tell a very different, more grounded story. Most 2002 quarters that sell at auction fall into reasonable ranges. High-grade, uncirculated examples might sell for a few dollars to a few dozen dollars. Silver proof quarters sell higher because of silver content. Error coins, the true standouts, are the ones that reach triple or even quadruple figures. So how do you know if the 2002 quarter in your hand is special? First, look for the mint mark. A small P means Philadelphia, D means Denver, and S means San Francisco. Proof coins almost always come from San Francisco. Next, examine the coin's condition. Sharp details, mirror-like surfaces, and no wear are good signs. Then, carefully inspect for errors. Look closely at the letters, numbers, and edges. Anything unusual deserves a second look. What makes the 2002 quarter fascinating isn't that it's rare, it's that it represents a moment when everyday people became collectors. These coins passed through millions of hands, sparked curiosity, and reminded Americans that even small objects can carry stories. The so-called 2002 Liberty Quarter dollar is not a lost treasure from the past. It is a modern coin wrapped in modern myths. Most are worth face value. Some are modestly collectible. A few, very few, are genuinely valuable. And that's the real lesson here. Not every coin is a fortune. Not every rumor is true. But with knowledge, patience, and a careful eye, even a simple quarter can teach you something about history, economics, and the stories we tell ourselves about value. So next time you hear someone claim that every 2002 Liberty quarter is worth a small fortune, you'll know the truth. And if you ever do find one with a real error, pristine condition, or silver composition, then yes, you might just be holding something special. Sometimes, the real treasure isn't the coin itself, it's knowing the story behind it.